Just to remind you, in the first episode we showed both binding and wrapping methods and how we took a grass sample as a zero measurement. In the second video, we showed how crop samples were taken after 6 weeks of preservation and showed the results. In this final episode, Roges, who joins us today, will share the outcomes of the forage analysis after 8 months of storage. And he explains what actually happens during the invisible preservation process behind these layers of film. So Roges, could you tell us a bit more about the results of the analysis of these two types of bales after 8 months of storage?
Well, the main and most significant difference we see is with the so-called butyric acid level. After 6 weeks of preservation, this level was exactly the same. So in this net-bound bale and this film-bound bale, it was 1.5 grams per kilogram dry matter product. But after 8 months of storage, the level of that bale, that net-bound bale, went up to 9.2, whereas with this bale, this film-bound bale, it went up till 4.9.
That's much lower, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's much lower with the film-bound bales than with the net-bound bales.
And what does that tell us?
Well, butyric acid is formed by so-called unfavorable bacteria, which are mainly active when the preservation process in the bale isn't going very well. So the preservation process in these film-bound bales went much better than in this net-bound bale. In general, the advantages of the film-bound bales over the net-bound bales are as follows. First, more air is being pushed out of this bale. That's because in the bale chamber, you pull an airtight film around the bale. It functions like an elastic band, so it's really squeezing, pushing the air out. Secondly, because of those layers of film around this bale, it's less susceptible to damage, which is very important because if there is damage on the bale, oxygen will come in and then the bale will rot and you can't use it as a farmer. The third advantage is that a film-bound bale keeps its shape better. Every bale breathes. Film never closes 100% airtight. But the trick is that to apply the film in such a way that the air inlet is minimal. So these film layers must fit together very well and must move as little as possible. Because when that happens, air can get in and you don't want that. Because a film-bound bale is bound and wrapped very quickly, it deforms less easily than a net-bound bale.
Thank you so much, Roges. So the conclusion is clear. This film-bound bale is a better bale for less money. Better because the latest analysis shows that the preservation of this bale went better than the one bound with net. Less film. And cheaper. This is what it's all about in the end. Cows who are enjoying their fresh and optimally preserved forage. And that is the basis for sustainable and efficient milk production.